Hello everyone, happy Friday. I love you and I'm sending you a very big virtual hug wherever you are on the earth plane in this now moment. Okay, I want to give you an analogy of what's going on here to get a bird's eye view of what we're going through. So we're all on a field, let's say. Every single human is on a field. Every single human body has a frequency that it kind of pulsates out from their body. That frequency is a part of the entire human collective frequency. So every human body standing on the field together in one unified field of consciousness creates a frequency for the entire human collective. You, as a sovereign being, you have your own beliefs, you have your own truths, you have your own thoughts, you have your own trauma, you have your own behaviors, right? Which participates and adds to the frequency of the entire human collective. So every now moment, whatever you're doing, being, thinking, feeling, whatever that is, that's a frequency pulsating out from your body, and it plays a role in the entire frequency of the human collective. And when we are ascending, okay, not only is our entire human body, right here, ascending into higher states of consciousness, but as you do that, you are assisting the one unified field of the human collective to slowly shift. So everything you do plays a role in this one unified field of the human collective. Now there's billions of human bodies. So if you're awake right now and you're starting to shift and you're starting to understand that you are playing a role in pulling the human collective into higher states of consciousness, what you're doing is literally bringing yourself and your body into a higher frequency while you stand in the one unified field of the human collective that for the majority is in a lower frequency right now. So think about it as percentages. Maybe right now there's only 15% of the human bodies in the human collective that are holding higher frequencies. So we have to get the human collective, right, all the bodies, to start holding a little bit higher frequency, a little bit higher frequency, a little bit higher frequency, so that the one unified field can slowly start to shift. Does this make sense? It's all based on like a percentage, let's say. It's not really how it works, but that's the best way to look at it. The more human bodies that are on this one unified field, on this field, the more they start to shift and increase their frequency, the easier it is to pull the entire one unified field of human consciousness into that higher state. Okay, now, all the human bodies are on the battlefield. Now I want you to imagine there is a very small group of humans floating above this battlefield or this field, okay? Small group, very small group. This group also has energies and consciousnesses around them that have been around for a very long time and that hold the very dense consciousnesses that we are collapsing right now. Greed, fear, manipulation, divide, control, mind control, all right, censorship. We're seeing it through censorship. We're seeing it through our rights being taken away. Lots of ways that we're seeing this play out. But those are the consciousnesses that a small group of humans are playing in. It's very small compared to the large human collective down on the battlefield or down on the field. They've been controlling the entire human collective from behind the scene because of how potent and powerful the consciousness is that they're playing in. When I say they're playing in them, they are living in them in their sovereign field. These humans are living in power, control, greed, manipulation, divide. Their bodies are holding that. They're pulsating that out from their frequency. And so they're puppeteers. And they are literally throwing or like rain showering down this consciousness onto the human collective over and over all day long. And there are human bodies that are the puppets that are playing out the role of spreading the consciousnesses that this small group of humans are showering down. And then what happens is these puppets that are playing out and spreading that consciousness, it starts to spread across the field. And all of a sudden you have millions upon millions of humans that are listening to these puppets who have been showered by these puppeteers with greed, control, manipulation, fear. And now you have millions of humans that are feeling fear, control, manipulation, mind control, divide. It spreads. And then what happens is you watch this field of humans fight each other, battle each other, go against each other to create more of a divide, more fear, more chaos, more manipulation. When it all stemmed from right here. And the louder the battlefield gets, the less these humans will be seen, will be discovered. And the puppets will be discovered. The louder the humans fight with each other, the louder that we create the divide on the field. Remember, this field is what we are shifting. We're shifting this field. And if we get caught up in the rainstorm of this consciousness, greed, fear, control, manipulation, and divide that's being thrown down onto the puppets who are spreading it out, if we get caught up in that and we play those roles for them, then we are unable to continue to hold the higher states of consciousness, which is why you're here. Dismantling those consciousnesses that have been raining down and that the puppets have been throwing out to us. Dismantling them. How do we dismantle them if we are getting caught up in the divide, in the consciousnesses that they're throwing to us? Meaning, I believe one thing, you believe another, and if we don't believe the same thing, right, we're going to go at each other. Instead of saying to yourselves, wait a second, where is this information coming from that we're receiving? Why am I feeling these things? What do I believe? What do I want to believe? What states of consciousness am I holding? Just say that to yourself. How am I being with another human on this field? Throw out divide. Throw out fear. Throw out control. Throw out manipulation. Throw out censorship. And stand with all the other humans and say to yourself, how am I being with them? We are all here on the field, regardless of your beliefs, regardless of your truths, because many of us are going to have differing truths and differing ways of navigating this for a very long time. If we get caught up in those details, you're a conspiracy theorist, you believe this, you're dangerous to the community, don't listen to this person, don't follow this person, blah, 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 blah. Hello? Do you realize what's actually happening? When you are perpetuating fear, greed, chaos, divide, control, manipulation, you are allowing the very small 0.0001% of the humans that have been controlling us to continue to control us. When you say to your community or to your family or to whoever, don't do this. That's not good for you. Throwing out fear, be aware of these people, etc., right? You are perpetuating what these puppeteers want us to perpetuate. The more we perpetuate it, the louder they get, and the more they get to stay where they're at. And guess what? The only reason you're in a human body, well, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the main reasons you're in a human body is to pull apart this consciousness. And these consciousnesses are so strong that you're going to get caught up in them down here on the field. You guys, censorship in any way, shape, or form isn't okay. The only reason humans think it's okay right now is because this group told you it is. Taking away our rights isn't okay, except that this consciousness told you it is. If you start to ask yourself, what does heaven on earth look like? What does heaven on earth look like? What does heaven on earth look like? Just ask yourself that. What does 5D consciousness look like on the human earth plane? Is it trying to stop people from speaking, stop people from having choice, stop people from having rights, stop people from having their own truths and beliefs and behaviors? Regardless of what somebody has told you is for your highest good or for the highest good of humanity? No, it's about sovereignty. It's about sovereignty on the field. Sovereignty means I get to have my truths, I get to have my behaviors, I get to have my beliefs. But what we're seeing is this small consciousness get louder and louder and louder. And we're watching it get louder and louder and louder by the puppets that are getting louder and louder, the media, the social media people, right? The large conglomerate companies, the political system, perhaps the religions, the religious systems, the scientific systems. These are all puppets playing for the puppeteers, throwing out the consciousness to the entire human collective. This isn't anything to be afraid of. This is called the massive evolutionary shift in the human collective. If you have fear, ask yourself, where is the fear coming from? When you start moving into higher states of consciousness, you're not blaming people. You're not trying to tear people down. You guys, we have a large system to collapse. Many, 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 many systems in here to collapse that are dark. If we are stuck fighting each other, it's going to be much more difficult to collapse these. And these puppeteers want us to fight each other, because the more we fight each other, the less we'll collapse them. Where is the root of everything coming from? Ask yourself that. Where is the root of it all coming from? It all comes from somewhere. It all comes from somewhere. And we have to, unfortunately or fortunately, break apart the puppets in all these big, huge companies so that we can collapse the puppeteers that we cannot see, that are hiding behind a curtain right now, basically. So, pay attention to this illusionary divide. You know, there's a spiritual teacher that comes at me a lot. She writes about how dangerous I am and to stay away from me. A spiritual teacher teaching about 5D consciousness. And I said to a good friend of mine the other day, I said to a good friend of mine the other day, I said, you know what's so funny about that is we probably dropped in together. This teacher and myself, we probably high-fived and said, okay, let's go down and do this. We're going to rock this. We're going to shift this human collective. And here we are now playing in our human bodies. And for whatever reason, this teacher is going to come after me, right? This is the divide that we need to wake up out of. We're all here to do our part to shift the human collective. And we all are doing the best we can. We're all doing the best we can, even those that have no idea they're on a field being controlled by puppets. It's not their fault. Where is compassion? Where is empathy? Where is love in your now moment? Where is the vision of the bigger picture? Where is the vision of the bigger picture? See the field, see the puppeteers, see the puppets, see it spread out. And the only thing you're in charge of is your sovereignty, your frequency. Have more love, have more compassion, have more empathy. You're here for a reason. Thank you for being here. I love you, I love you, I love you so, so much. And the divide that we're all experiencing is an illusion to distract us. Be what you want to see out there. I love you.